Over the weekend, I uploaded some information and a few thoughts on some leaked images of a Silent Hill game that's either currently in, or at least was once in, development. Now perhaps I owe you all something of an apology, because I concluded with the claim that I believe the leaked images referred to a game that I don't believe is in active development anymore. Talk of a canned title and the dates the images originate from seem to line up, but unbeknownst to me, the Dusk Golem leaks were not the end of the story. It appears more sources have been passing information to Game Chronicle, and this set of information would seem to clarify further some of the details that Dusk Golem was given in the last set of leaks. You might recall that one of the biggest claims regarding the future of Silent Hill was that there would be a remake and a mainline entry as well as some sort of episodic release. Well, according to the unnamed sources that VGC are citing, the remake is none other than Silent Hill 2, and that particular project is being handled by Bloober Team. This remake supposedly features a whole host of new features, not merely a visual update. According to the latest round of details, Silent Hill fans are set to experience reworked AI, animations, puzzles, and several new endings. On top of that, it will potentially be a timed exclusive, dropping on PlayStation consoles prior to any other platform. As for the mainline entry, it still seems unclear which studio is handling that one, but according to VGC, their sources revealed to them last year that a Japanese team were handling development on the latest mainline iteration of Silent Hill. According to VGC, the images that were leaked last week are not of a Silent Hill game, but a PT-style teaser that was given the moniker Sakura. Apparently, this teaser would be used in exactly the same way that Konami used PT, as a way to build anticipation and market future projects. Which, in this context, the implication is that those future projects would be a Silent Hill game. A little more detail was provided in relation to this supposed episodic title too, with one of the studios mentioned being Annapurna, the studio behind Outer Wilds. The caveat here is that there is no claim being made that they are the ones actually developing this episodic game, but that their name has been mentioned as possibly having entered discussions with Konami. There is no substantiation to an actual greenlit Annapurna Silent Hill game. That said, there isn't really much substantiation to any of this. These are still at the status of rumour and speculation. Let's look at the first major claim, that Bloober are remaking Silent Hill 2. Well, in my last video on this topic, I cited an outright denial from Bloober themselves that they are involved in the Silent Hill franchise. I'll recite a statement given to IGN in 2021 from Bloober Team CMO, and I'm going to apologise in advance because Polish is not a language I'm familiar with, but his name is Tomasz Gawlikowski. He said, and I quote, "Online speculations based on outdated or incomplete information can often lead to strange theories amongst gamers. At Bloober Team, we have two active internal projects, one in the production phase and one in the pre-production phase. Both are going to be bigger in scope than the medium, however, neither of them is based on themes or premises that have been circulating in the last days." So that was Bloober's official line as recently as last year. At that time, their line was that any involvement with the Silent Hill title was merely based on strange theories, built upon a foundation of outdated information. Bloober outright denied working on a Silent Hill title for Konami. However, speculation on their involvement doesn't seem to be going away, at least in part due to their strategic partnership with Konami and their professional relationship with Team Silent composer Akira Yamaoka. Are Bloober lying? That's conceivable. Are they trying to keep things close to their chest on behalf of Konami? That's also a possibility. Or are they just telling the truth? At this point in time, I'm going to say that I'm unsure, but what I can say, and this is personal opinion here, is that I'm not sure Silent Hill 2 is the best option for a remake. Sure, it's a standalone story with its own themes and explorations, but think about it like this. Whilst it's true that Silent Hill 2 is held in extremely high regard by a lot of Silent Hill fans, myself included, there isn't an insignificant number of fans that argue it's overrated. Amongst these fans, Silent Hill 3 is usually regarded as Team Silent's magnum opus. When you're remaking a game that has such passionate fans in its corner, you're setting yourself an enormous task. If this potential remake isn't handled in exactly the right way, you're going to meet the ire of those fans. But on the flip side, those fans that believe Silent Hill 2 gets too much praise may feel slighted, instead preferring to see a remake of the first game or even Silent Hill 4. I will admit, when the fourth game first dropped in 2004, I didn't get it. I admired the concept, but I was frustrated by the execution. As I've gotten older though, this opinion has changed a bit. Also, recall that awful HD remaster collection didn't include Silent Hill 4 whatsoever. I would argue that unless a Silent Hill 2 remake is absolutely perfect, it's not the wisest place to start, when a flawed yet remarkably interesting game like Silent Hill 4 remains untouched and untapped. And out of any game in the franchise, the fourth installment was easily the biggest influence and point of departure for whatever it was that Hideo Kojima was working on, if PT is anything to go by. What about this Japanese-developed mainline entry and Annapurna's potential involvement with an episodic game? Judging by Bloober Team and Supermassive Games both being attached in some way to last week's leaks, it's clear that in all reality, nothing can be taken as certain in this regard. If Konami have been shopping the franchise around, it's likely that lots of studios have touched some sort of SH related project, at least at the level of a pitch or proof of concept. In other words, Bloober, Supermassive and Annapurna could have all entered discussions with Konami without ever being given the go-ahead to begin development. So I would wager in the coming weeks, even more names are going to crop up from anonymous sources the world over. All in all, at this point, it's impossible to distinguish rumour from anything that's remotely tangible. That said, I can see this story actively evolving over the coming days and weeks. The rumour mill and leaks could gather so much momentum that we get something official in the form of maybe a confirmation or a denial. Either way, I'll keep everyone posted and be sure to provide any updates if they emerge. For now, and for Silent Hill fans, let's keep everything fingers, toes and tentacles crossed for some good news. I've been DK Priori, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.